Hey, what's up, nerdies? I just finished watching Fantastic Four First Steps with a whopping 2 post-credit scenes, believe it or not. And if you've seen it, you know we're here to talk about the mid-post-credit scene, which is the giant glue that is about to bring everything together. Naturally, spoilers for the movie are incoming, so if you haven't seen it yet, be sure to subscribe so you can come in later, enjoy our next videos. If you're a true Fantastic Four fan, you know that there have been several Fantastic Four movies made over the years, over the decades really, with varying degrees of success, but the latest movie, this one, First Steps, is the first one that is ongoing in the MCU. This is the main reason why, of course, the Russo brothers even stepped in by making this post-credit scene. Yes, Matt Shakman had nothing to do with this post-credit scene. They came in special and did this one because it features, of course, spoilers as I said, Doctor Doom. Yeah, Doctor Doom officially arrives in the MCU. And how does he do that? This is all revealed in the post-credit scene, in the mid one. By the end of Fantastic Four First Steps, the team has figured out how to defeat Galactus and protect their newborn son, Franklin. This is the son of Sue and Reed. So as we learned during the movie, Franklin possesses cosmic powers, no doubt as a result of the cosmic storm that bombarded his parents while Sue was pregnant with him. This, of course, gave the Fantastic Four their unusual powers, but Franklin too. Galactus comes to the planet seeking Franklin to be his substitute, someone who could alleviate the constant hunger that forces Galactus to devour planets. In the movie, Reed and Sue weren't about to hand over their child, of course, but Galactus isn't the only one interested in Franklin and his powers, because in the post-credit scene, we are taken 4 years later after the events of the movie, and Franklin is now older and can speak, but is sitting in his mother's lap as she is reading him The Very Hungry Caterpillar. This, of course, has many connotations. Speaking about the butterfly, which is something that is reborn, something that comes out of the cocoon, out of the shell. This completely encapsulates Franklin in a way. He was just born into this world with cosmic powers, and already people are after him. The hungry caterpillar could also mean that, yes, he could one day become the villain. He could one day become Galactus, the hungry caterpillar that will engulf the universe. It's all sort of a mishmash, kind of a messagey thing with this book. It's completely open to interpretation. Of course, as I said, directed by the Russo brothers, which could mean a whole lot of things. But here's where things get crazy. So Sue finishes the book, sets off to find another one to read to her son, moves out of his room. So she wanders around the Baxter Building's living room, gets a fresh book from Herbie, and heads back into the living room, but she senses that something is off in this room. Sue activates a force field using her hand and turns the corner to enter the room, and she sees Franklin sitting on the lap of a stranger. Now, this stranger is only seen from behind, but he has an unmistakable green hood. Franklin is staring into the man's face, which we are unable to see as an audience, but as the camera comes closer to the stranger's shoulder, we see that he's holding a mask that he has removed, allowing Franklin to see his actual face. The mask is of Doctor Doom, so we can clearly assume that Franklin is perhaps even healing Doctor Doom's face in this scene, which clearly seems to be happening because Franklin is not reacting to the monstrous face that he sees on Dr. Van Doom. This could also be proven to be true because why has he removed his mask? Now, behind the scenes, I suspect this is not RDJ. This is just a stand-in double with no dialogue, because in the scene there is no dialogue. It's just Franklin touching his face. By what I've seen, it is clear that RDJ will not wear the Doctor Doom mask that often. It's gonna be kind of like the Iron Man thing where he had the Iron Man suit sometimes during action scenes, but the moment it was over, he was out of the suit and it was RDJ all over again. This clearly seemed like it's going to happen with future movies like Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars. He's a huge actor, and he might just want to play himself more so than just be in a mask, hide his face. Some people might be bummed out, of course, because he might not wear it that much. Okay, let's talk about the big news, the big thing with this post-credit scene, and this is how it connects to Avengers Doomsday coming very soon. So, alright, of course we need to talk about Doom. So, as we know by watching the full movie, there's no direct correlation between the Fantastic Four of the MCU and Victor Von Doom, which is normally the case in the comics and in the previous movies. In all the previous movies of the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom has been the main villain. In this one, it was Galactus. So, will there be a new link between Doctor Doom and the team in the MCU, and dropping him into Earth 828 as he's checking in on Franklin will mean that this has to be addressed immediately in Avengers Doomsday, because Sue has witnessed this firsthand. He has approached her child. Given by what we learned from Franklin in the movie, it would make sense that being as powerful as Doctor Doom, he would want to seek this child out. We also know that incursions are going to be an integral part of the story in Avengers Doomsday. The several worlds threatening to collide, the various teams in the MCU scrambling to prevent such a thing. We have two very interesting post-credit scenes here that happened prior to Avengers Doomsday. And we also have the Thunderbolts end credit scene bringing the Excelsior spaceship into Earth 616. Now we have Doctor Doom making his long-awaited debut. What I'm thinking is we're gonna get another mid-post-credit scene that will be attached to Spider-Man Brand New Day that's coming next summer. But all in all, by what I've seen, Fantastic Four First Steps is essentially the first Iron Man and Captain America. It's just a little movie with a couple of superheroes here and there, but essentially it's a small movie in the grand scheme of things of what's to come. So they've kind of rebooted things. They're not going gigantic. They're going small first, building up to Doomsday, and of course the big reset, as Kevin Feige called it, Avengers Secret Wars. I'm mostly excited, if I'm being honest, about Secret Wars. Doomsday is going to be the full introduction of Doctor Doom for sure, and all the main antagonists and protagonists and villains. Perhaps we're going to dive deep into Battleworld as well by the reports and by the concept art, but for sure something like that is coming in. But what do you see Avengers Secret Wars at? Because Kevin Feige says that it's the big reset. So what are we talking about? Are we talking about Avengers Infinity Wars, where half of the universe is wiped out by Thanos, and we have kind of a reset where we need to bring all of them back, have that storyline? Or is it Avengers Endgame, where they kill Doctor Doom, we have a complete reset, and now we need to refresh another time? So phase 7 could be basically phase 1, where they just start with fresh new actors and characters and fresh new storylines. I was baffled when I saw Kevin Feige say that, but they probably have a grand plan, especially knowing that DCU is now coming for them. With Superman being a blockbuster hit this summer, has put Marvel on notice for sure. They have big plans coming, and we might see in the future a big clash between Marvel and DC finally, because as you know, in the 2010s, it was mediocre. DCU was just mediocre. Marvel kicked their behind. So let me know all your thoughts down below. We're going to talk about this more.